Oh, I say, you wrong one. Welcome to another Ranty Rollox with the Ranting Madman. First off, he's coming back. What do you mean, who am I talking about? Of course you should know who you're talking about. Please have some reverence. It is William, Prince of Wales. He returneth from his slacking duties. He's had a month off, the tart. Technical term we use in radio, but Prince William has announced his first public engagement after having a month off. He's going to visit a food charity in Surrey on the 18th. It's a 9-day, 18th of April 2024. But, do you know, I've still got this question kind of rattling around in my empty bonds. Where's Wally? So, William and Wally, they said they weren't coming back until the 27th of April. So, where have they been? Month off. Nice gig if you can get it. So, you know, the AI generated, I mean, not according to me, obviously I'm just a daft lad getting away with it, but according to certain photography agencies and other agencies, the video on the bench was AI generated. Oh, that suddenly went quiet, didn't it? And the picture with the bands for Easter, AI generated-ish, kind of, photoshopped, I think is the real technical term. So, A, where's Wally? And B, will the re-emergence of Wally be AI generated? And will William be the real William, Prince of Wales, on the 18th of April, a couple of days away? Who knows? Literally, who knows? They could be making it up. There could be lizards, according to David Icke. I want to read you an email that I received because it's fairly interesting around, you know, the Iranian attack on Israel and the Iron Dome, and all of the newspapers, all the mainstream legacy media have been saying to you, oh, 99% of them didn't get through. The Iron Dome repelled all the missiles and the drones from Iran, and Israel's going to retaliate and it's going to be World War III. Do you think that's the truth? Do you think that after the last 4 years, you can trust the legacy media to tell you the truth? I have told you a million times, the only thing that the legacy media never gets wrong is the price on the front of the newspaper. I wouldn't trust these idiots as far as I can spit them. So let me read you this, something that wasn't reported by the mainstream media. Ooh, you think they're telling the truth? How do we do one, said a spokesperson. So let me tell you, I'm going to read this out. It's from an anonymous sender, but it carries so much power with it that this should have been reported in the mainstream media. If you're sitting comfortably, I shall begin. Adrian. Iran struck back. Hundreds of drones and missiles. Lots were indeed destroyed before reaching their targets. Oh, and Hezbollah launched over 50 rockets against northern Israel, with a lot more being launched in line with the Iranian attack. Are you with me so far? Something the Beeb and other Western media aren't telling you, and they're not mentioning this particular little gem. An eye for an eye, they reckon. Iran struck Nevatim Air Base with at least 7 of its new hypersonic missiles. Now, Nevatim is home of the F-35 fighters that attacked the Iranian consulate in Damascus. Do you understand that? Not a single Iranian missile was intercepted. Let that sink in. Iran attacked Israel and attacked the fighters that attacked the Iranian consulate in Damascus. Ipso facto now, Israel is defenseless. I think we will be seeing further attacks by Iran and, more importantly, high-value targets being hit more and more and more often. The rumour is the little show of force that Iranian gave was a prelude to the main act, and the Iranians learned a lot about Israel's defences. Israel learned what Iran can do too. Not a good sign. Nice of the MOD and the Beeb to finally admit that the RAF are still playing in Syria. The MOD statement makes clear that the RAF jets have been flying in the same areas they've been conducting counter-IS missions as part of Operation Shader for several years. They are not flying over Israel. They do fly over Israel at least twice a day. Every day, an RAF tanker, cargo, and 2 Typhoons leave Akrotiri and fly over Israel and Jordan to enter Iraq, and then fly up paralleling the Syrian border, avoiding the West Bank, Lebanon and Syria. Then, across the bases in northern Iraq, they operate out of Erbil and Kirkuk. The RAF and our buddies from across the pond stage out of there for attacks in Syria. There are 12 Typhoons technically based in Akrotiri, 4 aircraft as close air support, ground attack, in northern Iraq. 2 fresh aircraft will transit out every day. 2 of the 4 CAS, that's close air support, aircraft will return to Akrotiri at the end of the day, rotating the aircraft through. Are you with me? This can be confirmed using any flight tracker software or website. You can track the aircraft from Akrotiri while they transit Israel and Jordan. Then about halfway through Iraq, they switch off their transponders. Oh, do they really? Turkey won't allow them to fly to northern Iraq over their airspace, live armed, but can return with no live weapons. Wonder where they go. Over the Turkish airspace, so sometimes you can track the return transit over Turkey. It's a funny old thing, but there were no Arab flights transiting Israel from just before the attack. Ooh, wonder why. Just another day in the wild, wild west. Middle East. Now I can tell you, having visited Israel on numerous occasions and lying on the beach at Ashdod, the first time that I went to Israel, I'm lying there and there's attack aircraft, fighter jets flying over. I was like, what the blooming heck is it World War III? I mean, this was back in 2018. And the new Mrs. Allen said, no, they just do regular patrols. And then a couple of hours later, whoosh, off they go again. Which makes me think, October 7th. How did the Israeli government not know that there was an attack when they have regular patrols around their airspace? And it takes 40 odd minutes, top to bottom of Israel, maybe an hour, tops. So Israel is saying, oh, the attack will be met with a response. No truth in the rumour. They'll have to buy their F-35s that were destroyed by the Iranians first. Notice how you don't get that in the mainstream media. Agenda, agenda, agenda. The agenda is from Benjamin Netanyahu, stay in power as long as possible. I'm a war president. I will stay in power as long as possible because once I'm out of power, everybody's going to try and get me out of the gig, out of the job. Because notice when he went in for his hernia, the Israelis started protesting. They didn't hang around. And the minute he was back from his hernia, well, the protests stopped. When he's out of power, watch. He wants to be Ben Gurion. Do your own research. And what is the end game? Gas and the oil from the Gaza Strip, the gas and the oil out of the East Mediterranean. BP, British company, is already in there doing the drilling and the exploratory works. And, oh, I say, the Americans are building a port. Oh, it's for aid, Adrian. No, it's for aid. And the Israelis have built a massive through road to this port. That'll set up the oil and gas port then, will it? And the Ben Gurion Canal. There's a video on this channel that we did 6 months ago. Not sure you're aware of that. Keep thinking. Let's go to a bit of showbiz. Now, seemingly, Holly Willoughby has got a new show. They're off in a couple of weeks to do some recording in South America. Oh, if only she'd come to me, a bit of an expert on South America, ayahuasca, Peru. I reckon it's Costa Rica, obviously, and they're not going to identify the place for security reasons. But Bear Hunt, Bear Grylls, Bear Hunt. That's not Cockney rhyming slang either, before you start. If it's a bear hunt, are they going to do it naked? Now, there's fears over the drug gangs and the wars in Costa Rica, in South America. And the drugs gangs, they try to harvest and cultivate the coca plant, not cocoa plant, coca plant. And it's revered in Peru. I can tell you that when I was going to all the ancient sites in Peru with the new Mrs. Allen, these coca leaves would be everywhere. And I said to some of our guys, well, what's that about? Oh, it's to the gods. It's an offering to the gods. Do the gods get off their noggin then? Didn't answer. So, Hubby Dan, Holly's hubby, Dan, is doing a reboot of Blind Date with Claudia Winkleman. No wonder she gave up a Radio 2 show. She knew what was coming. Holly's taking, they reckon Holly is taking a step away from mainstream shows to concentrate on her rebrand. A bit like Megan in Montecito. Rebrand. That's not Russell. It's just rebranding. Now, Dan says it's their marriage pact. So she's going to go from the mainstream. She's going to go and do other stuff and get £1 million for the bear hunt. Let's talk about Britain's Got Talent, because I did warn you on the live on Sunday, and there's another live coming Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, that this Sharon and Amanda spat that seemingly came out of nowhere, it was all made up. It's all made up for publicity. So now, today, you've got Amanda and Alicia, front page of The Sun and The Daily Mirror, in latex. Now, there was a time when latex would have been so far out there, so beyond anything. Oh, it's only for perverts. Now, it's for the mainstream. So every day, you're going to get publicity because it's on Saturday, 7:30. Oh, don't worry. Your government loves you. And Britain's Got Talent's going to be on the TV soon. Finally, Ginger's Ferricles. Prince Harry. Oh, he can't be a happy boy now. Oh, can you hear the plates and the cups being smashed in Montecito? He's not a happy bunny. Why? Well, he's got to cough £1 million. Well, roughly £1 million to cover his costs and the costs of the Home Office. Well, if it's the Home Office, would that not be King Charles? Can't say his dad. King Charles, because we don't know whether he is. King Charles. So he's got to pay £1 million back to the taxpayer and the king. It'll probably go to the king rather than me and you. When was the last time me and you got any money back? Now, he's lost his case, so he's got to pay back the taxpayer. Well, not really, me and you. It'll just go somewhere else in a palace. And, I mean, you've got to question his sanity for walking away from all this opulence and privilege. Now, he wasn't a happy bunny because nobody... Well, he was just difficult. It's the spare. I mean, look at Princess Anne, how her life thrived being a spare. But Harold. Now, I understand that Meghan, she refuses to cook in her own kitchen for this up-and-coming cooking programme. There's a woman that thinks cooking and fooking are two towns in China. Now, I would advise Harold, upstairs for thinking, downstairs for dancing, and not the other way around, Harold. And have you noticed, since I've mentioned the word treason, I don't know why I would mention that the word treason, it's all gone quiet. King Harry, anyone? Queen Grifter? No, King Billy's come to a sceptred isle. Near you. Soon. So, Ranty Bollocks for the day. Don't forget that I'm also on X at Adrian Allen. That's me proper name. At Adrian Allen. And you'll find me on X. Thank you for your likes. Don't forget to keep smashing them. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel for more videos that are coming. But most of all, thank you for your indulgence. My name's Adrian Allen. And whatever you do, don't forget the Battenberg.